Welcome to the second video of your training. In this video, I will introduce you to lifestyle medicine and how the SMART Goal tool will help you make and achieve your health goals. Here are our learning objectives. We will be getting a better idea of what lifestyle medicine is in this video, and I want to then get into how you can learn concepts from lifestyle medicine from videos 3 through 8, and then you can use the SMART Goals tool in this training to guide you in how to make healthier habits. Lastly, we will talk about how the process of change, motivation, and some concepts from Atomic Habits, which is a book, that they all tie into making your own SMART goals more effective. So let's just define what lifestyle medicine is. Lifestyle medicine is a medical specialty that uses therapeutic lifestyle interventions as a primary modality to treat chronic conditions, including cardiovascular diseases, type 2 diabetes, and obesity. Lifestyle medicine certified clinicians are trained to apply evidence-based whole-person prescriptive lifestyle changes to treat, and when used intensively, often reverse chronic conditions. In our case, we are learning about these concepts to prevent chronic conditions and to also optimize your health. As I just mentioned, this is a medical specialty. Just as there is a specialty for your skin and dermatology, there are providers who specialize in lifestyle medicine if you want to get professional support in addition to this training. The 6 pillars of health are nutrition, exercise, restorative sleep, stress management, avoidance of risky substance use, and positive social connections. Applying concepts from these topics, we will learn how it can be effective prevention for type 2 diabetes, heart disease, obesity, as well as other chronic health conditions. These 6 pillars of lifestyle medicine will be 6 of the 10 videos for this training. We will go into enough depth to understand the background of each topic and give you plenty of ideas on changes you can make to protect your physical and mental health, as well as improve your life's quality. This has got to be one of my favorite slides. Let's take a broad look at how life used to be and how much easier life has become in many ways in our time. Industrial advances have made life easier for us. We don't have to raise animals and farm our food. We spend much more time indoors, sitting, than when we used to be active outdoors. It was a part of life to be outside and active before these conveniences. We must make more intentional decisions to be more active and less sedentary, such as taking the stairs instead of the escalator and walking somewhere a few blocks instead of driving your car. Advances in healthcare, like vaccines for the measles, have mostly eradicated the dangerous illness. Anesthesia for surgeries, cleaner water, and better sanitation, as well as antibiotics, have all proven to extend the length and quality of our lives. But as you can see in the picture on the right, our focus needs to improve using lifestyle medicine on how we care for our bodies, because it can be too easy to not get your steps in. At least the dogs seem to be getting theirs in. In regard to healthcare, a strategy such as lifestyle medicine must be adopted that results in people making essential changes in their lifestyle. Victor Hugo said, "Nothing is as powerful as the idea whose time has come." I grew up hearing that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Another adage is, "One stitch in time saves 9." It is never too soon to start protecting your health, and it must be done with intentional strategies to establish new habits. Please think about how making changes now can prevent disease and illness later. Give that ounce or stitch in protecting your health. The goal of lifestyle medicine is to not only add years to your life, but life to your years. That means to me that you will have made health habits that add to your body's strength and energy for a quality life that you can enjoy. The term quality of life is defined as the culmination of objective indicators of physical, mental, emotional, and social health, with subjective interpretation of the quality of those factors for a unique individual based on the person's goals and values. Everyone's quality of life can look different depending on the individual, but it is important to start thinking about that as you think about your short-term and long-term goals. So we want to add quality to your life. That's a great thought, right? I'm going to slaughter this, but Antoine de Saint-Exupéry said, "A goal without a plan is just a wish." I am going to show you how you can think through what you will learn from lifestyle medicine and think about the ways to protect your physical and mental health by making a plan that will make sense to you and make you accountable to yourself. So I'm going to introduce you to SMART Goals. SMART Goals is a tool we will use in our training to help you apply concepts you have learned from lifestyle medicine so you can get very specific on how you will change your health habits. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely. We will go through each of these sections with an example. The downloadable form I will provide you after this video allows you to type in each section after you've downloaded it, so you don't even have to print it. You can save it to your desktop. It is, however, important to see your goal or goals often and tell others as a way of making yourself accountable and reminding you of your commitment to change. Here is the form that we'll go through with an example as well. So step 1, you write out your goal with only a few words so you can read it at a glance. Let's say your goal is to eat more vegetables. Step 2 is that you add details and you'll write out to eat a variety of vegetables. So the first item on number 2 in step 2 is that you want to pick out 3 different colors of vegetables at the store. The second item, you'd say you want to find a good hummus dip to try to dip them in. The third item is that you cut them up and put them in the fridge for easy access. If you're like me, many vegetables have gone bad waiting for me to cut them. Cut out the next step right away, then add it to your meals as a side. Step 3 is to make your goal measurable or track its progress. How will you assess your progress? You can ask yourself, in our example goal, did I buy 3 colors of vegetables? The second part to step 3 is that I will know I have reached my goal when I have eaten all or most of those vegetables as snacks or sides to my meals. The fourth step is how to make your goal achievable. You will decide what you need to achieve your goal. You can even write out how you'll find the time, when, and for this example, you would say when I go grocery shopping, things I need to learn about, how eating different colors of vegetables gives me different nutrient benefits, people I can talk to for support. You can ask yourself, do I know someone who eats vegetables and seems to enjoy them? What ways do they prepare their vegetables that make them delicious? And then get support from those people you see who have the habits you're trying to attain. They likely have a lot of great ideas and can help you with tricks if you're finding something about your goal to be harder than expected. The fifth step is to make your goal relevant. What is my why for wanting to change? What advantages does eating more vegetables have on a person's body? Incorporate how this will help support your values, short-term goals, or your long-term plans, such as having better health so you can travel and stay active. We will discuss your short-term and long-term goals in a few slides to help your motivation. Step 6 is to make your goal time-bound. This makes you accountable to try your goal by a certain date to make your actions more intentional by not putting it off and diving in. You can include a halfway measurement date. Maybe for this goal, it looks like by the end of the next week you have purchased the vegetables and brought them home. The other half of the goal can be to wash and cut the vegetables, then add to your meals as a side or as a snack. Again, all these sections of the SMART goals will be together as one form as you can download and type them in. This is what the SMART goal setting worksheet looks like all together and what you will download. And obviously it will be bigger so you can see it better in the download. Now that we have defined what lifestyle medicine is and how the SMART goal setting tool can help, we also need to talk about the process of change, motivation, and there's an amazing book called Atomic Habits, and that has some amazing tips for making new habits stick. So let's talk about the process of change according to the trans-theoretical model of change. According to the trans-theoretical model of change, there are 6 stages we go through to make a change. I will tell you each stage and what is happening, then I will give you an example. The first stage, in the pre-contemplation stage, let's say we have someone named Eddie, is comfortable with his habits and there is no reason for him to consider changing. For example, Eddie may not see the benefit of regular exercise and doesn't consider ever starting. He likely refuses to consider trying to change, and there is no openness to change. This stage is helpful for making Eddie aware of better habits, such as this training you are watching right now, that is using consciousness-raising efforts to help you to be open to the ideas I will share with you in the lifestyle medicine videos about nutrition, exercise, restorative sleep, etc. In the contemplation stage, the second stage, Eddie has thought about changing and can see the benefits, but he's having a hard time getting started. Eddie is now open to the idea of exercising regularly, but doesn't know how to start the change. He is more aware of his situation and how his actions can positively impact his health. Moving on to the preparation stage, the third stage, this is where Eddie is ready, and yes, that does rhyme, and committed to make his exercise a regular habit, but he will need to make a detailed plan on how he will complete the necessary steps to be successful. The contemplation and preparation stages will merge for you as you watch the training videos on the 6 pillars of health, which are, like I've mentioned before, exercise, nutrition, restorative sleep, stress management, avoidance of risky substance use, and social connections. When you make your SMART goals from concepts learned from those trainings, when you make a specific plan on how you'll remember to make different choices to work toward better health. The fourth stage is the action stage. This is where our Eddie has been practicing his SMART goals, but they are still not habits yet. He still needs support as he is still at risk of falling into his own old habit of binge watching Jeopardy instead of going to the gym after work. If he gets a cold or comes back from a trip, he could fall back into his old habit and stay in chronic contemplation, the second stage. The action stage is aided with positive reinforcements, such as Eddie rewarding himself by going to a movie with a friend after exercising 5 days a week for 2 weeks. The fifth stage is the maintenance stage, where Eddie has been exercising 5 days a week for 6 months. He gets sick sometimes or is thrown off when he is traveling, but he mostly is keeping to his goal of working out nearly every day. The final stage is the termination stage. Your new habit has become so natural you hardly have temptations to make a different choice, so you don't have to work on this health habit. It's more likely that you will stay in the maintenance stage with your health behaviors because there will likely be temptations that throw you off. Now that we have talked about this theory on change, I want you to decide where you are in the process of change and to see how you can move through the stages. I encourage you to take a picture or a screenshot of this slide and the slide before this one to refer to if you decide to make goals and follow your specific plan. You will see how you will grow through the different stages, and it's normal to slip back and get back on and move through it. I wanted to take some time to talk about motivation. Let's talk about why you want to start to apply a few things you will learn from each video covering the 6 pillars of health. Do you have a short-term goal that you'd like to keep up with friends on hikes, or you're training for a 5K that you would like to meet your short-term goals? Or maybe your sleep is not the amount or quality you need, and what you have tried isn't helping. Making changes short-term will help you meet your needs, but what about your long-term expectations? Do you expect to avoid chronic diseases like type 2 diabetes and heart disease? Think about what you want your life to look like in 10 years, in 20 years. Are you currently active? How are your relationships, your stress levels? How's your overall health? I think most people don't plan on having chronic illnesses, but the habits we have today and how we try to get better really have an impact on your future health. I highly recommend reading or listening to the book Atomic Habits. It teaches you how to build good habits and how to eliminate the bad ones. I will include the link to the cheat sheet that outlines how to support new habits and omit other habits. I want to talk to you about the principle from Atomic Habits of the concept of the aggregation of marginal gains. In a nutshell, it tells us that 1% improvements in many areas make a significant impact to succeeding with your goals. The example that James Clear shares is the British cycling team. In 2003, the British cycling team had been mediocre for 100 years. They only had one gold medal since 1908. In the 110 years of the Tour de France, they had no British winners. Certain manufacturers would not sell their products to the British cycling team because they didn't want the image of the British cyclers using their products to hurt their image in subsequent sales. Dave Brailsford was hired as their performance manager in 2003, and he had a relentless commitment to the philosophy of the aggregation of marginal gains. This philosophy entailed searching for tiny 1% improvements in everything the cycling team did. The school of thought is that adding all of the improvements together would make a big impact. Mr. Brailsford started with things that pertained to the cycling, like getting better seats, lighter weight uniforms, and better massage gel that helped the cyclers' muscles recover more quickly. Mr. Brailsford didn't stop there. They hired a surgeon to teach the athletes how to wash their hands effectively to help them avoid catching colds. They sought what pillows and mattresses would give them the best night's sleep, and even painted the inside of their truck white so they could spot specks of dust that might degrade their finely tuned bikes, as well as hundreds of other small improvements. 5 years later, the British cycling team got 60% of the medals available on the road and cycling events in the Beijing Olympics. 4 years later, at the London Olympics, the British team set 9 Olympic records, 7 world records. Then they started to win the Tour de France for 5 out of 6 years. From 2007 to 2017, the Brits won 178 world championships, 66 Olympic or Paralympic gold medals, and 5 Tour de France victories in cycling's best run in cycling history. James Clear makes the case that the success of this team came from small successes that accumulated to remarkable transformation. It is in the everyday habits we have that is building or taking away from our futures. I hope you can see that this training will be a journey. You will come to learn that there are things that you already do well and things that you have room for improvement. Remember your why for short-term and long-term health goals. Remember that small changes can have a big impact, such as the concept of aggregation of marginal gains we just covered talking about the British cycling team. Make ceiling goals that leaves you reaching, and a floor goal that you will for sure hit. For example, you might make it a goal to get 8 hours of sleep per night as a ceiling goal, but maybe it was too hard to fall asleep last night and you at least got 6.5 hours. 6.5 hours is your floor goal. Life happens as you're trying to make better choices. So I like the concepts of having a ceiling and a floor goal to try to stay within a range of behavior. And if you didn't do it today, try again tomorrow. Let's wrap this up with key takeaways of what we have gone over. Lifestyle medicine is a medical specialty. It uses therapeutic lifestyle interventions such as concepts from nutrition, sleep, exercise, stress management, interpersonal relationships, and substance abuse risk. We have learned what SMART goals are, and I encourage you to download the form after this video. We have talked about the process of change, and I want you to consider where you see yourself in that process. Define for yourself what your short-term and long-term why is for finding lasting motivation for the goals that you will make. Keep in mind that all of your small changes can make a big difference to your health now and in the future with the concept of aggregation of marginal gains. Thanks for watching, and please continue on to video number 3.